welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 70, your weekly dose of StarCraft here on the Cranky Ducklings. And today is a very special day as well. Of course, I'm joined by these amazing players, the people in the chat, and by my plushies as well. And also, as was brought to my attention on our Discord server, I had no idea. For those that are curious, I'd like to wish the Cranky Ducklings a happy anniversary. It's crazy how time flies, but fun fact for those that did not know, I mean, in a way, anniversary, it's kind of like hard to distinguish exactly when the Cranky Ducklings was formed, but 7 years ago, on this very day, on October the 27th, we held our very first tournament, the Sea Duckling Open. The Sea Duckling Open. That is, of course, our amateur bronze to diamond tournament. That is how we started back in the day, back in what, 2017 now? Jesus, back in 2017, we started off with diamond tournaments, or restricted to diamond players back in the day. We tried to fill a void when it came to amateur tournaments because there was kind of like a missing area there that wasn't really being covered by anyone, so we started hosting our own tournaments. And then we grew into masters tournaments, then we grew into regional events, and we covered more and more eventually into what we are today. It's been a long time. Been a very long time. So shout out to all those that have been here, that have joined us throughout the years, and the few of you that have been there, that have been here since the beginning as well. It's been a wild ride, but here we go. We're jumping into our first series of the night. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the teal Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss. It is LunaSea. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Chilean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Infernales Esports. It is LucianO. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is time to get your Gamba going. Predictions are now open in the chat. Best of luck. Ooh. As you place your bets on either of these two players. Coming into this, both these players, of course, are GM LucianO. He is, I would say, currently the best Terran in Chile. I think I would go that far at the moment. Some of the other long-time competitors in Chile have now since retired. Players like Jadby comes to mind, for example. But LucianO, he has stood the test of time, and he is playing at a brutal time slot. Shout out to those of you in the chat, by the way, that are from the Americas. I know there are a few of you, just because it's just a really, really bad time zone, or really bad time for the tournaments here. If you're in North or Latin America, as the Reaper goes down. But LucianO, he's playing from Chile, of course. It is 6 a.m. 6 a.m. in the morning, so we always do champion the North and Latin American players that do compete in our tournaments. LucianO's not the only one. We'll have a look back at there after, but best of luck, as he went full degen and he stayed up until 6 a.m. to play this tournament. I'm shaking my head. As the initial Reaper did go down, Adept's going to be zoning LucianO back. Likewise, behind this, did open up with a Rax into a faster factory. Delayed CC. The CC is going to be delayed a little bit further here, as the SV is going to be hunted down. So far, good pickoffs here by LunaSea. Reapers and Cyclones will eventually clean this up, but a nice delay nonetheless. So a better start here for LunaSea. Back at home, we have our tech of choice. Going to be a Twilight Council opener. Twilight Council into Blink. Gateways are being thrown down. How many gates is going to be the next question here? Do we go 2 gate, 3 gate, or 4 gate Blink Stalker for LunaSea? We'll keep an eye on the gateway count as he's still being active, still moving out with those Adepts. And we do have a look at the lovely tuna. Ah, the tuna. Ay. Love to see it. Love to see it. Meanwhile, BC. Oh my God. LunaSea. He's sorry, not LucianO. He's also crazy. Hey, calm down. Going into a 1-1-1, we do have the tech lab already done here on the starport, a little bit ahead of time here, as it takes a while for the fusion core to finish up, but alas, the fusion core is on the way. And I mean, technically this could be for ranged liberators, but no. Here it's gonna be for fast battle cruisers. Last time we've seen a player rush into BCs in this matchup, I will say it was Gumiho. I remember Gumiho actually having success with BCs in this matchup as a very niche build, I would say a year ago. Ever since then, I have seen Quanta embrace BC rushes against Protoss as well, but again, that was like, what, 1-2 years ago at this point. It's a very uncommon build, at least at this level of play. So I'm curious. We'll see. We'll see how this does work out. Meanwhile, LunaSea back at home, 2 gates in the natural, and we have 1 gate in the main, so 3 gate Blink. 3 Gameplink Stalkers from LunaSea, which means plenty of Stalkers available. Very safe opener here. It means he delays his third base in favor of additional Stalker production. Prism is on the way, and LunaSea will soon move out. Soon move out with Mass Blink Stalker, and LucianO back at home. What is his setup? I mean, he's got 1 bunker, he's got some Marines. Bearing in mind, his tank production specifically was delayed. Why was it delayed? Because of the BC. The Battlecruiser does mean the tank's going to be much later, which means the Terran player is vulnerable to these Blink Stalkers. While lacking tanks in favor of BC, is it going to be worth it in the end? As Stalkers move out, they are revealed, of course, to the Hellion. LucianO now knows, and can he hold? I mean, he's going to have to use the BC defensively, I feel. He just sends it. He teleports across the map, he goes for the main, and probes are going to be going down, forces a recall back home. And the BC does have to get the hell out of here. Cannot fight this head on, has to pull away, and this will actually buy time. I mean, hey, because of the recall, these Stalkers, they could have otherwise been in the main base. The tank just popped out, but they could have delayed the third base, could have shut down the bunker and broken through. Bearing in mind, these are vanilla Marines as well. Those Stalkers had a lot of potential for damage, but now they're stuck at home. Now the Stalkers are stuck at home. The aggression has been heavily delayed, and LucianO, he is stabilizing. He's slowly stabilizing here, getting more tanks up and running, more bunkers as well. Another tank's on the way. As I say that, we do see the Prisms still diving into the main, though, looking for more damage. And look at some SCVs. It's going to be 1, it's going to be 2, 3 SCVs already going to be going down. Good pickups here by the Protoss, and the Prism will escape. Remember, once again, there is no stim, so the Prism can just float away. Meanwhile, back at home, it is going to be a Dark Shrine here. It's going to be a DT opener out of LunaSea. Well, sorry, I should say a DT follow-up from LunaSea. Very bold move. We'll see if he can make something happen with this. For now, coming back into the main, threading the mineral line, keeping Marines busy here. A tank's also in position. And LucianO's looking secure, but he's still on 2 bases. Now, the Observer does get eyes on the 3rd CC, as well as the rest of the production. Mech? Okay. I mean, as I say the Observer sees the production, I see the production for the first time here. That is going to be a 2nd and a 3rd factory. It's BC into Mech. LucianO, you're sleep deprived. You're LucianO, get some sleep, baby. Oh no. I told you it's 6 AM right now in Chile, and I don't think LucianO has actually slept yet. Oh no. Oh, the skin, no! The skin reveals the Observer, but the Observer does manage to float away, does escape. Now the BC teleporting across the map towards the natural, but alas, there are plenty of Stalkers in position. Again, ideally you want to wait for the move outs, but alas, LunaSea heals ready back at home, and the BC is thwarted. Does survive at least, but is pinned back. Meanwhile, here come the DTs. No! Dark Templar walking towards the bases, walking towards the 3rd, the natural. Deepers are lifted, but SCVs will still go down. And this is already racking up. This is already doing too much damage. There's the first scan. Gets 1 DT. The other 2 bust into the main. There's still 1 here at the natural. SCVs are still falling, and here comes the main army. It's pushing out across the map. Sending everything across. And this is doing critical damage. It's been 9 SCV kills so far. DT still in the main. DT here at the 3rd. Gets a tank. Gets 1. Gets 2. No! 2 tanks. 2 tanks go down. Oh, and as he's vulnerable, the Stalkers, they hit the 3rd. And again, these are vanilla Marines, especially because the Terran player is playing Mech. Boys are being pulled. So many SCVs going to be going down. And they're still going. There's still a DT in the main. Thankfully, there is a Raven. Gets a turret, 25 SCV, kills the Stalkers, they dive back in. And LunaSea just pulling LucianO apart. Behind this, just getting a 4th. Why not? Getting a 4th Nexus. Still minimal gases here for LunaSea. Only 3 gases for the Protoss. Is going into charge, I would imagine. Yeah, he's going to charge that into +1, now +2. Going to be reinforcing with Mass Zealot. Less so with Stalker. Until now, I should say. There we go. Gas is now being taken. And LucianO's stuck at home. He's stuck at home. And on the one hand, you might be thinking, you know, he's being more defensive and he's playing mech anyway. The problem is his economy, right? He's rebuilding his SCVs. He doesn't really have much of an economy or much of a bank to work with. So because of that, his army supply is suffering. He has an army to work with, yes, but I mean, these are unupgraded Marines. You know, he's got 2 tanks, 1 Raven. Second starport's on... Wait, what? Second starport's on the way? I guess it looks like one of the first starport was actually killed. Ooh. They go down. Meanwhile, BC is welling across the map. Yeah, it looks like one of the starports was killed by the DTs, I would imagine. And the BCs have got a lot of work to do. I mean, they do get a mid round. Oh my god! The probes, get out of here! 13 probe kills. He's not done. Oh! No, he might be done. Oh, good god. He's being lured out into the open. Will have to back off. Gets a shield battery. Yamato was not researched. Bear that in mind as well. But that wasn't too bad. 13 probe kills. I mean, LucianO, he is somewhat evening up the economy. But the army size is still heavily in favor of the Protoss. Heavily back. Does get a Stalker. Being as annoying as possible. Meanwhile, across the map, massive warping into the main. We got DTs, we got Zells. We force a recall back home or force a teleport. DCs will help clean this up, but the tech is under fire. Stalkers, they hit the third base to go for the CC, and they're gonna kill. They're gonna kill the command center, the tanks as well. We spoke about it, about LucianO trying to stabilize, but LunaSea just has a massive, overwhelming army. He can just keep going. Can just keep pushing. Still is out on the main. Took down the E-Bays. A warp in here towards the natural. And everything's on fire. The main, the third, and the natural. It's all flashing red. And try as hard as LucianO might, he just has no counterattack potential is the problem. He has nothing to really threaten LunaSea. He's going for another CC. Oh, he wants it. Doesn't quite get it. Not this time. LunaSea backs off, getting another expansion, getting a 5th. Building up more zealots, more stalkers, moving out across the map. And what I will say is LunaSea hasn't teched up. Like, he's embracing a gateway-based composition, but there's no, like, robotech. There's no, like, double or triple robo immortal production, for example, or working towards disruptors, or working towards Skytoss. I do think that LunaSea, I mean, he has the economy to afford that kind of tech. You can see he has a bank built up, 1,000 gas in the bank, and minerals as well. So LunaSea could try to take a step further here. For now, it's sticking with just a gateway army. And, I mean, it's going to be good enough anyway. It's not the most efficient of armies. But he gets the base. Takes down the CC. Leads out mainly Zealots to make this happen. And LucianO is going to be stuck on 2 bases. Meanwhile, behind this, the BCs are still wreaking havoc. They're still posing some kind of threat. But the Stalkers, they warp in. And it looks like they finally bring down one of the BCs. Oh, they got 1. They get 2, GG gets called, and LunaSea will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Whew. Just catching up. The org is kind of May-ish, yeah. Like it's a little bit complicated, right? Because like we hosted Sea Duckling Open on the 27th of October, but we all came together, and there was a lot of like work and a lot of planning and a lot of just a lot of build up towards the first tournament that we organized. That is true in a way. But it was our first cast together. But here we go, we're getting into game number 2. So yeah, the memories. Myself, Kura, Yaku, Steel Mold joined thereafter as well. Not too far after the first event. We had Lechito, Milk and Cookies. I think Heroin was around since almost the beginning as well. Good times, good times. But here we go. We're getting into into game number 2 of this series, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Crimson Court, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Teal Protoss, leading the series 1-0. Una más, one more is all he needs to advance on to the next round. It is LunaSea. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Blue Zerg player, representing Infernales Esports, now rolling Zerg, not Terran, as he has been playing random. It is LucianO. Going for a 12 pool. None of you look any older. Ah, Smurge. It's been 7 years and Yaku still can't grow facial hair. Kappa. Ay. That was always the meme. Feels Yaku, man. Feels Yaku. Ah. Not like this. We love you, Yaku. We love you. As we are attempting to expand, but LunaSea is in position to deny. LunaSea also needs to check the main and has gotten eyes on the timing of the spawning pool. Lings are already on the way. Probe goes down, and the Lings are moving out across the map. Not just the Lings, but drones as well. Very committed here by the Zerg, by LucianO. LunaSea walling up on the high ground. A very interesting wall-off location, because that, in a way, LunaSea is hard countering. Usually we would see a wall on the low ground, but because of the high ground, we have the ramp. It's more of a choke point. You need that much less to actually fully wall off. And it's a 12 pool drone pool. 12 pool drone pool by LucianO. He's pulled the boys. It's all or nothing, and he's gonna run into a brick wall. I don't see him breaking this. Yeah, he now realizes what's going on. I mean, he already had the overload across the map. The wall is up. The wall is secure, and we're gonna try and go for that. I mean, the Zealot is gonna go down. True. Nice drone drilling. Zealot does fall. Likewise, we're going for the pylon as well. Adept is on the way. Oh, the gateway gets depowered. Does get depowered for a moment. The Adept is going to pop out, but the drones are working through that forge. They're at least trying to. Yeah, the forge is getting low, and we're going to need a secondary wall behind this, as the first Adept has arrived. Gateway's under fire as well. What do we go? We need a wall off. There's a cyber core. There's another pylon as well. I mean, so far, LunaSea is buying time, but the gateway falls. One more Adept is on the way. The forge is going to be going down next, potentially. The drones, they want the forge. Up. They want it. They don't quite get it. GG. Yeah, it's just too little too late. It takes too long to break down that wall. Time was working against LucianO, and LunaSea will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. As a reminder, LucianO, his main race is Terran, but he played random. He played random in both Game 1 and in Game 2. Should have specified that in Game 1 as well. And LucianO, he did try to cheese out his opponent here, but unfortunately for LucianO, again, LunaSea, with the probe scout, he confirmed what was going on. He did wall off on the high ground as well. Very secure wall off for LunaSea. Bearing in mind as well that LunaSea, I say, like, hard counter or blind counter. If you remember, LunaSea was playing against a random player, so he didn't know if it was like, if he was up against a Zerg player, he would have walled off on the low ground, but he was up against random, so he didn't know. So he instead walled off on the high ground to be safe and secure, and that worked out better in his favor. With that, GG, well played. Congratulations to LunaSea, as he will advance on into the next round, and we are here to catch up on the bracket and figure out what exactly is going on. Here we go.